Alright people, what is going on? Today I'm out in the garage working on Jasmine again, as usual. I'm wearing the Boost Junkie shirt once again. It's been washed and the graphics still staying on pretty good. I'm glad you guys are liking it so far, because I really like to think we could sell a whole bunch of them. And if we sold the dream number, which I'm going to say is 1,000 shirts, which doesn't seem too unrealistic, I would feel. That's like 3% of my total subscribers, and even considering that I get maybe 4,000 to 5,000 views per video, that's not too unrealistic, I don't think. But so say we sold 1,000 of them, and like you guys share with your friends that like cars. I'll probably boost a post on Facebook. We'll have you guys share the post on Facebook. If we sell the minimum or whatever, I'll give one away as usual. But if we sold 1,000 of them, one of two things would happen to this car. It's a toss-up conflict with me. I can't decide which one I would rather do, because both not cheap, but relatively close in price, and both would be really badass. But the options are, number one, pull the engine out, Yoshi Fab forged internals, I'm talking 158mm HP rods, forged pistons, and build this bottom end to take one hell of a beating and put a big turbo on it and get it all tuned up nicely with the Mega Squirt system, which has been the dream for a while because a nice huge number power red block Volvo, probably 500 plus wheel, doesn't seem unreasonable on an 8 valve. And I know a lot of Swedish people are going to argue that it's not doable, but on E85 with special attention paid, you know, with a good tune, timing maps good, it's totally doable. Maybe not on 91 or 93 octane, but on E85 it's doable. The other option though is a 1JZ with an R154. I've wanted a JZ engine so bad especially since Luca from Luca Car Mods, check out his channel, put a 2JZ in his 940, and I have a buddy with a Mark III Supra that's 1J swapped, and now Quentin from More Skids has a 1JZ in his 240SX, and he's telling me how awesome it is, how fast it is, and they sound so good. The only thing is I'd be abandoning my Mega Squirt setup, because I would just put the 1J or 2J harness in it. I'm not even gonna say 2J. Just a 1J VVTi single turbo is probably the easiest way to go, because they make plug and play Mega Squirt setups for those engines. I did a little further investigating, and while they do make plug and play ECUs for the 1JZ GTE, they're not very affordable, so I think the best option to go in this instance would be to build a harness and use the Mega Squirt ECU I already have, which makes me lean towards the built red blocks some more. So I could just plug it in and have the same like stock base map, and if we modified it from there, we could tune it just the way we did with this. But this is already set up for Mega Squirt on a Volvo red block, so I don't know. It's so conflicting. Guys, tell me what you think in the comments, what you prefer, a 1JZ or a stupid high horsepower Volvo red block. That's the other thing, for about the same price, a little more on the red block side, I could be making a whole lot more power than stock 1JZ. And, you know, this is all hypothetical anyway, if we did somehow sell 1,000 shirts. But tell me what in the comments you would rather see, and maybe it'll work out for us. You never know. What I'm doing today is trying to figure out this boost issue. I did check the vacuum lines going to the wastegate actuator. It's fine. And I know this T is not causing any trouble. These two T's, because that's to the boost gauge. Boost gauge still hits 16 pounds occasionally. But something seems weird about the wastegate and the wastegate actuator, so I'm going to dig in there. Probably going to have to jack it up and look from underneath, see what's going on. Alright, so this is going to be kind of hard to do because I just have my phone like sitting on my chest while I'm under the car, so I can kind of try and get some light on the subject. But let's start here. That's the end of the wastegate actuator arm that opens the wastegate. You can see it's really close to that drain line, which I believe is the issue because someone made the conscious decision to run only one bolt for the bracket to mount it to the turbo, probably because the wastegate arm wasn't straight, which makes me kind of think this isn't the right wastegate actuator for this turbo. But even if I did get the right one, if you can see right there, I'll circle it on the screen for you. The incredibly pleasant and always innovative previous owner of this car decided instead of a cotter pin, we'll fucking tack weld the wastegate actuator arm onto the wastegate release, whatever the hell you call it. Long story short, I can't take it off. Like, I'd have to grind it off and find a way to put another one on, and at that point, why the hell even bother? Not just put a different turbo on. So that's cool, but at any rate, let me see if I can wiggle this. But you can see right there, I can move it just a bit. I'm pretty sure this bolt was the only thing keeping it from dragging the actuator arm on the drain line. So I'm gonna tighten that bolt and hope for the best. All right, that was by far, hands down, the worst thing I have ever had to do on this car. The most aggravating thing in my damn life. So there wasn't enough room to get a regular sized wrench in there, so I had to use this, which is like a 10 on one side and a 12 on the other. Had to reach up over the not the cross member, I mean it's like a frame support cross member, I don't know, whatever the fuck that engine sits on. Reach up over that, bend my elbow behind the oil filter around the oil return from the turbo to get to that bolt that you could not get the box end of a wrench on because the oil return line was right there, and hold it in place, push it up with one hand, and use my left hand to crank on it, doing quarter turns, flipping the wrench every fucking time so I could get to it. Got to one point where I couldn't even do that, so I had to get the destroyer in there and put it against the nut, or the head of the bolt, tap it with the hammer to get it to turn like 1/64th of a fucking turn so I could get the wrench back on it. I got it tightened. I don't think it's gonna stay, but if this fixes it, we might have to take the turbo off. I might just get a new wastegate actuator because that is the most irritating thing. My God, I'm pissed off. My arms are black all the way up. Luckily, we got that lava soap coming in clutch. Forget about your fast orange, dudes. Buy yourself a couple bars of lava soap. Life-changing. It's done. I'm pretty sure the wastegate actuator arm was rubbing against the oil feed line so it would get stuck open, and that's why it wouldn't build boost, because like I said, sometimes it did it and ran fine and sometimes it didn't. So I think that was all, and I was also looking at the reason I don't think the wastegate actuator is even meant for that turbo is it doesn't even look for one like the bracket would line up with 2 bolt holes. And even if it would, there's definitely no spot on that turbo where the wastegate actuator arm would be even close to straight. So I think someone just found a fucking wastegate actuator.
Yeah, that looks fucking close enough. Throw it on.
As usual, previous owners coming in clutch. And I can't talk too much shit because I know the previous owner. But if you're watching this, buddy, fuck you on that one. Good God. Alright, I got her back on the ground. I'm gonna fire it up, let it get warmed up, move the excursion out of the driveway, take her out and see if it fixed my issue. Alright, so it's a warm day out today. We shouldn't stay and warm up in Richmond for too long. I'm gonna cruise a little bit and let everything get nice and warm, and then we'll give her a shot. Alright, so that definitely was the issue. Wastegate actuator arm was getting stuck on my return line. I set up my dash cam nonsense so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on with it now. So I'll cut to that as soon as I get moving, and hopefully I can break free from the traffic. But it's idling really nice now with the boost leaks, or the vacuum leaks gone. And it's hitting boost, spooling as fast as it should. Alright, so Ross is over here. Took it for a test drive, as you guys saw. Boost was hitting fantastic, normal, spooling as quick as it should. Probably a little bit faster, honestly, with the boost leaks gone. It felt pretty damn good. But it's probably just because I got used to it running like ass. So that worked for all of 5 or 6 pulls, and I went around a corner and it wouldn't do it anymore. So I'm willing to bet the wastegate actuator is loose again, and I would put money that the nut where you can adjust the wastegate actuator arm is getting stuck on the fuel return, or the oil return line from the turbo. So I'm done fucking with it today because that was like the most aggravating thing. Let me tell you, Ross, I would build 1,000 mega squirt harnesses before I go under that car and try and tighten that bolt again.
Oh, okay.
I would fucking sell a kidney and buy a Garrett turbo before I go do that shit again.
Oh.
It's not, like, I'm gonna have to do something. That turbo's gonna have to come off. I'm gonna have to get an actual wastegate actuator for this car, something. Hopefully I can get a 16-pound one, or at least put a 16-pound spring in one. That way we don't have to retune it. At least we know what the problem is. That's always good. Ross, did you get one of these lovely shirts I'm wearing?
I did.
Ooh.
But I'm sorry I didn't wear it.
No, it's all good. I got mine dirty as shit, as you can see here, which I'm pretty pissed about, but it is what it is. Like we said, we know what the problem is now. That's good. Now we just need to.
That's like 90% of the battle, right?
Yeah.
Not really.
But yeah, so I'm done messing with it today. I need to sit and brainstorm, try and figure out something to do with that, because that's just aggravating. I'm over it for today. But what are you over here for, Ross? Are you gonna?
We're gonna buy some parts.
Hell
Car
yeah! Parts for 3 different Volvos and a V8.
Yeah.
So we got stuff coming up. Ross got a couple exciting things for the wagon, as did Brennan. So those should be coming pretty soon. Maybe they'll be able to keep up. Ooh, right now you could, probably. But like Austin and I were talking about, like, this thing's a fucking slug until boost hits. Like top of second and top of third, it's nasty.
Yeah.
Like I raced 8th gen Honda Civic Si, obliterated it. I raced a Charger RT from a dig, and he got like maybe a car length on me. Like it was a lot closer than I was expecting, and him too, actually. Because well, I should say he gave me a length at the beginning, because like we lined up and he like backed up, gave me a length. I was like, all right, man, whatever. And it was before I had your tires on there, so I fucking spun all the way through second gear. But even so, he had to play catch up. He was probably like, what the fuck is that?
Volvo.
So I feel like if I had some fatter tires on there and it wouldn't destroy my transmission to launch it, and I actually launched it, I could probably take that Charger. So yeah, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's faster, well, it's about as fast as an ex-police Charger, and faster than a Civic Si. So there you go, if you want a basis of speed. Yeah. And then this guy's gonna come back and be like, dude, quit hyping it up like it's fast and quit saying it's fast. Like, bitch, name one time I said it was fast. I'll tell you it's not. But it skids like a goddamn champ, and that's all I wanted. Dude, your tires are getting hella usable on the 240.
Hell yeah.
Now you could probably spin those.
Shit, yeah.
That's good. I gotta get a new lug stud for the front, and then we'll be gussy. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Get stoked on the Boost Junkie shirt drop, and it will be available on hoodies and tank tops as well. I had a couple of people asking about that, and they're all going to be discounted for the first 3 weeks they're for sale. After that, they'll go up to my normal pricing. But yeah, so make sure you submit your answers for Car of the Video, curseforeverhelp@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, add me on Snapchat, BigB1011, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.